So there are people who are still troubled by this concept that everything in heaven won't be as perfect as we might think.
Nên coi để cái năng ở địa cái vấn chú của lên nên căng bản nên chỉ biết đâu nó lại dừng vô của lên là vấn đề.
I'm not trying to suggest that people will willingly and deliberately and maliciously do sin. I'm not suggesting that. What I am acknowledging is that the subject of sin is more complicated than we at first think. Our concept of sin is so basic and mechanical. The way God approaches this subject is much more sophisticated, is much more complicated. As an example, if you're single and you want to get into a relationship with somebody and they're single, and the only people that you look at are single people, could you ever be tempted by the sin of adultery? No. So, how do we know that you're not going to do adultery in the future? How does God know? You were keeping Sunday all your life. You die. You never liked the Jews. You believe that their Sabbath keeping was works, not justification by faith. When you get to heaven, how does God know that you'll keep Sabbath? How does He know when you've never been tested on it? The childish response is that God predicts the future. I say it's childish because that is not a good answer. Certainly not the correct answer. So how does He know you'll be faithful? You go to heaven, all your life you've gone to church on Sunday. You go to church on Sabbath because everyone's there. And because of habit, you wake up on Sunday morning, you get ready, and you go to church because you want to worship God on Sunday. Have you just sinned? Have you just not exhibited that the mark of the beast, the mark of his authority, is still imprinted into you? I would say yes. You accepted the mark of his authority, Sunday sacredness. And then you realize, I forgot it's the wrong day, and go back home.
Le ba ja le ka cha no ma che na ko le no lo ba.
I think people don't conceptualize heaven in that way.
Có cha chi ba ne le chi ke lo ma ten. Te ken.
So I'm not talking about someone says, I'm not going to go on Saturday, I'm going to go on Sunday.
Chi jam ne ran le nan chi lo. Ne yom se bi kan lo yom la.
Gabriel comes and says, let me read the Bible to you properly, let me explain. Come to give you understanding. And you say, I don't care what you say, Gabriel.
So Gabriel ben nang in the Bible ko nin ko cho ba lai ba de te
I'm not talking about sin in that fashion.
An chi jam ne re ne biak ne Bible ja.
How long have you been a Christian and you struggle with things?
Ye kam yindi en china krasano kuin ge chin yerwa no kokumen.
Because of misunderstanding, habits, bad practices.
Cho be chena dut jela kare yo ko lo.
Why do you think that won't happen in heaven?
Yo in le na ne kene kirat beloy pa ne.
I know why.
Anya yo.
Because you think you're going to get this new body,
Tak na ni in benang gob ken gob jot ken.
which doesn't have any imprint in its cellular structure of sin.
So kichini re ti na yat.
There's no DNA damage.
Chin kichiria ke biak de gob long tin.
And we take that concept
Lum ko ken
of a perfect sinless body
ni cho ran chin gob re.
and we superimpose that upon the inner person.
Jol ko tao na biak de long tin de ra.
Now, when God gives you this new body, does he even ask you anything?
Na chen ne le chi yen gob jot ken yo ngai nang ge te chi
Does it take long?
nang kam bere lo.
Who's involved in that project?
Ye ngan lo lon ken
Give you three choices.
bagam kang ke biak bin ka lai te.
You,
Ye yi
him,
ye
or you and him together, like a partnership
we ko de waro ne le ku jala yi ne we lo ilon ke no gob ne war be gob
in this.
nya ko kol keni
You,
ye yi
him,
ye ne le
or together.
ke we waro
Which one?
ye keno ye ngai ger rat bran be aran je ngai lo.
Him.
He said it's God.
He does it all himself.
Ne le je ne ke lo ye rad
He didn't ask you.
chi ti
He's not going to say, oh, what color eyes do you want?
che lo le biak ye nyin yin en kor ba ye ni
How tall will you be?
che ti le ba ber ki kor ba ber de
No negotiation.
chin chi li de ka
He will make everything brand new.
e ka ngben de ne ka be ke kyo ke je
He will give you this body as a gift.
bi ye no gob kene ke nyan
And will it be totally pure, correct, no corruption,
bi
no damage?
bi ya gob la jik chin kriak tin chin ke kriak tin
Yes or no?
ye
Sure. Would God give you anything that was bad ever?
le bi ne le bi yen krai
Of course he would not.
chi le bi yen krai
So that's the outer shell, the house that you have.
kene ye ne ke won to in tin Long Beach
There you are now,
in to te man
this cloud
ke fuel kan
floating around,
ye chat jel tim
puts it into the body,
jel tao ni gob
and you wake up.
jel pa
Now the thing that he put into that brand new body,
anen ka te tao ni gob jot ke ni
what was it?
ye kan
Was it you or someone else?
ye yin ga ran da pe
You or someone else?
da ne ne ale che ko le general ye ja be ke ku jel be ke fuel ku jel ani
It was you, wasn't it?
ye yin ga ran da pe yin
He didn't take your body, the one that you've got now,
chi gob du to ke ni yin mana chi below
and take a brush and scrub it clean, did he?
be pur ja jalum ku jel wa ke jale
Didn't do that.
chi ke below
He just says, get rid of the old one, I'll give you a brand new one.
so e le nyai gob te don ke ku ba yen gob jot
A different body.
gob boy ke no gob wa ta
Do you agree with that?
ta ka ga me ke ne ale je lo
Now, I'm going to call it the brain. We'll call it the mind.
ale ba le le
Mind. Does he give you a new mind when you get to heaven?
ne ale je yen tăng dứt lên phản nè
No.
khi nhìn tăng dứt
He gives you the same dirty, old, grubby mind that you had here on earth, doesn't he?
ấy yên nó nằm rẽ đuôn hoa tọc cái đi nó pin nó mới trên các cụ nó cái lôi bên của chỉ là cái trắc ai cái trao yên nó
Yes or no?
cái nằm được can cho nên nằm yên này lên gam nhiều quá
He doesn't scrub it clean when you're not looking.
yên này lên trên nằm người là quá phản nè là chàng được tiêu khi chiên biết
When you're dead,
cho tổ
if you die,
cho tổ
he didn't say, let's scrub it clean.
trên lên luôn là nếu quả của nằm cái
So in the resurrection, we give him a clean body and a clean mind.
chàng này dân ra đây cái bố yên nằm dứt giờ là vô dứt
How do we know that?
nếu có cái nếu có như vậy đấy
Because the people who don't die,
nên có chưa tổ
when would he do that for them?
dùng một cái lối cái dùng một bên cái lối
Didn't be no opportunity.
chỉ là bé khi tiệt nó nóng quá
You just get a new shell
trên đang vô dứt
with the same mind, no change.
nên nằm trồng đun cái này trên cái chỗ à
So all I want to identify is the fact that it's obvious.
còn bút tin cái rật lôi
The mind you have here is a mind you take to heaven.
nằm cho cái này nó mà nên cái nằm là cái này phản nè
Can we all agree with that?
chắc cái gam
Because people who want to show me quotes to challenge what I'm teaching,
anh em coi có biết cái chiếc cái gor bay chẳng biết cái lưỡi cái này biết cái lưỡi biết cái chóp cái
take any person you want to.
lum ràn chả lum
We'll take Martin Luther.
lum mà thì lú đó
He says
à thì lú đó chứ giảm
the book of James
bung cái gì mình
isn't even God's word.
cái lưỡi cái chiếc will cái này đấy
It's not even part of God's word, that someone made that up.
lưỡi cái chiếc will cái này đấy cho nên ra này gật cái
Doesn't believe it's inspiration.
chiếc gam này cái chiếc cái gor
Do you know why?
như gì không
Why?
yung mới mà thì lú đấy này lưỡi bung cái gì mình chiếc cái gor
What's James's problem?
yung mà biết cái là gì mình
Someone should know.
có biết ra không có biết nhỉ
What does James say?
cái gì mình sẽ lưỡi đấy
People are saved by works.
lưỡi có trái cái luộc luộc
He says,
cái lưỡi
here on earth,
bên nằm trên
what do the sons of God not do?
yung cái quét cái này lên những cái lôn
What don't they do?
yung cái lôn
They don't do any sin, do they?
chỉ ra những cái lối thế
Because it's all about works. They do all these good works.
cái còn cái lối cái lôn
Very similar concept to what John teaches.
ở quay cái này cái do này phía
So he's got a problem with James because it's all about works.
so khi mình là để James chú gọi đấy thế cái lối nó cái lối lên lối phải
Can Martin Luther get to heaven
cũng mà thì lúc đó là bao nhiêu
with a damaged mind?
nếu nông trồng đèn cái
Yes or no?
mà thì lúc đó chỉ là bao nhiêu cái nông cái chỉ là cái giọt cái nông đèn này lối cái chỉ James lối thì quay
When does it get repaired?
giờ rất cho pin đá nông đèn cái
On earth?
pin nằm trên đấy mình
When they were dead?
cái thì chỉ có thôi
Or after the resurrection in heaven?
cái thì chỉ có giọt của cái là bao nhiêu
In the resurrection?
thì generate
After. Then Adventists have a clever thing Adventists do.
anh em cái việc thì cái này sẽ đại lối
They say it takes 7 days to get to heaven,
lấy cái này nhìn cái đó rồi chẳng có là bao nhiêu
and all the repair in the mind is going to happen in 7 days.
vậy là chụp cái nóng cứ coi chồng mình phải nhập cái lối nhìn cái đó rồi
So I'm glad you find that as funny as I do.
cái này đó chứ mà nhà này
You're not going to repair damage in 7 days.
ria chỉ nó nóng ria cái nó tăng đà ra này chỉ là rất duy nhìn cái đó rồi
Over and over again,
này ta tôi có biết
we can see
ấy của chính
that the sin problem is much more complicated,
này cho để rét là chả rét này đất
much more pervasive.
ấy cái là rét là bố chế dụng tục
These Nethinims that are going to come,
aku num de aku chola aku num de jur ko ka be
how can God trust them in heaven?
di ne ale ke jal ka me de ke ta ne
How's he going to trust them?
le ke ka me de la pa ne
How does he know they're going to be faithful?
le be ni che di na ne ke a be jal ko chuk a be na nga de ne kam
Oh, I know how. He that keeps one law
cái Bible đây liên mà này lồng cái nấm múc
keeps them all.
ai có múc có biết
Because the Sabbath is the sign of our righteousness.
Sabbath ini cái chín đấy là dừng đấy
So now we say you keep Sabbath.
Oleh từ ba Sabbath bấm múc
If you do a bit of adultery on the side, it doesn't matter.
của lối ba vô của lối lên nào múc Sabbath của cò đó cái chín cái gì
Or we say if you keep Sabbath, you're never going to do adultery.
của lối lên nào múc Sabbath cái chín được bao
We have all these wrong concepts, these wrong ideas.
One phía chín này giờ là tăng ra cho cái nào walk
I want to suggest
cả ba lối
God is taking a huge risk
knowledge năng anh nói đi chửi
to let people into heaven
chẳng được coi lẽ và nét
who are not fully trained.
coi khí chỉ cái pure chỉ bên
People like you and I.
coi chỉ mà nhìn rồi
We're not fully trained.
ok này cái pure chỉ dùng
Even the 144,000 are not fully trained, are they?
ở cái chứ biên là bur alip utar ngoan của ngoan à khí chỉ cái pure chập
Who thinks they're fully trained?
ยังไงเลยนะcái pure chập bên
Conception, 144,000.
biên là bur utar ngoan
I'm sure most of you do. I don't know why you won't put your hand up. Every Adventist thinks they're fully trained.
rồi Adventist cái lưới cả nó bên cái Adventist chỉ cái pure chỉ chập
People were taking me to the book of Revelation in the break.
có cái chơi lẻ rồi bung được nhốt ta rồi chưa là nó bên break
If you go to chapter 22, verse 11, we all know that.
bung được nhốt rồi cái của
He says, everyone that is righteous will stay righteous.
Little Quran logic, abe logic.
Does that mean they can't change their mind afterwards?
Yelele chi cái nimu bawar chi dama loyal.
How do you read that verse?
Ye chokene ye kwene.
Can they change their mind afterwards
cái ni ware
and say, I take a day off?
Well cái anh cái khol trong cái nào lom baba re ja lo.
So they're all righteous
Cái logic.
here, aren't they?
Logic cái này. Cái
At the close of probation,
tiok the bam da kai de pio.
Daniel 12:1.
Daniel tier ko to.
That's Daniel 12:1, isn't it?
Daniel tier ko.
Is that 12:1? So they're all fully ready to go.
Chỉ là duy nhất trên cái là pa ne là bên.
Everything's good.
Khang bên apet.
They can go into heaven.
Có cái là pa ne.
And what's the next thing God's going to do?
Ye kno bin ne ba lo.
Straight after this, what's the next thing he's going to do?
Chin Daniel, chin Michael, Karen George, yung bin ne ba lo. Ông bin ne lo.
So he's going to test them more.
Bin ne cái ba để cái tem cái.
What's the point of testing someone if you know they're going to pass the test?
So yung rat ko ra chan bran ba tem be ni chin ne ran kana betum ma betia.
Can they fail the test in the binding off, in the harvest? Can they fail?
Lebih cái duy mình tâm mình để ta tem cái kan.
No? What's the bother? What's the point of testing them if they can't fail?
So yung ne cái ba tem cái coi che duy.
What difference does it make?
Yung quay để đây.
There's no point in testing if you can't fail the test, is there?
Nè là chỉ là bị tâm thì như trên cái trên bàn bị không mà cái chi bị mình tâm.
Well, obviously there must be because God does that.
Nè là như lối thế, chả được nên khuyết cầu.
So, whatever the testing here is,
cái của chính cái này tâm như thế.
it serves some purpose for them.
Lối nè là nó cái.
Will they grow in stature?
Bởi cái chill, bởi cái bà đi điang cái group.
On the inner man, not the outer.
Điang the long thing, bởi cái bà đi điang cái long thing, bởi cái nang dương ra đây nhỉ.
They're going to go through this period,
Bây giờ nào có con cái này.
Jacob's time of trouble,
Ta nói đi.
and what will your relationship be between you and God?
Yung bé mà đun, yung bé cam đun nè lên.
Let me ask it this way. Here you are, close the probation, Second Advent,
Iti ben tiok de bam de kai de pio.
Jacob's time of trouble.
Jelata de no andi de Jacob.
My brother said you're going to be tested.
E wan ma le wo bu ka tem te.
It also says that you're not going to change here. Can't change.
Chin ko bra war te.
So you'll remain righteous.
In belajik.
So what's going to happen here?
Yung bra lo ni apu ko kin ni ale je ko ben ko ba tem ta de no andi de Jacob.
With your relationship to God?
Kam ma du no ne ale.
Is your relationship here good or bad?
Yung ma du no ne ale je ta rai ka pet.
Good or bad relationship with God here?
Yang ku ma pet ka ma rai kam du no ne ale.
Bad?
Right.
Good?
Pet. Chin bam de kai de pio tiok le ne ale ne ra la je.
It's bad, isn't it?
Kam du no ne ale pet ten ka rai.
Is God your friend or your enemy?
Cái này lấy giá đun đủ cái má đu thế.
Why are you fighting with him if he's your friend?
Yung yawe tero ni yen ten má đu.
Who's Jacob fighting with?
Jacob ter cái này đến.
His friend or his enemy?
Ye má đu cái đun đấy.
His enemy, isn't he?
Na ko khole Jacob it còn ter cái tar cái na đun đấy. Ka tar cái má đu.
Picture of God is not good here.
Tin cái này lấy thế.
When you get to the end,
Nyo na ne còn như Jacob cái này chi biết.
now it's good.
Mà trên bên đâu đây chúng ta nhìn nè lấy chân nè lấy cái.
Oh, it's God, it's you.
Na chi chú giá bên cái chỉ lấy nè lấy gì.
And God says,
Còn cái nè lấy giá lấy.
because you beat me up,
Cái chi nên giá tiêm.
you won the fight,
In thiết tiêm in thiết trồng mà chả tiêm.
I'm going to make you special.
In bà chơi ra lùi tốt ở ngoài coi không.
So does he improve in his relationship to God?
Ai nếu ta nói để cho cục cái này cho cụ cam là nè lên để cái gì rồi để cái việc đấy.
For sure he does.
Nó để cái gì rồi cái cam việc.
So this comes down to your definition of what sin is.
Bí cụ này cái yêu cụ trắc yêu ngồi lùi lại đấy.
Is sin
Right.
just a mechanical act that you do about keeping the law?
Về cái lùi nó muốn được lúc.
Of course it's not.
Trên.
I look at your phone.
Telephone đó chạy tiếng.
That looks nice.
Biết.
I'd like that phone.
Telephone cái nào nè.
Do you think I'm going to steal his phone?
Cái rồi bà telephone để bảo quát.
No.
Sao bảo quát?
I'm too worried you might see. I'll get into trouble.
Alle ba dia re chana bating.
Does that mean I don't desire it?
Ye luen na re kana cha kor ka lo
Of course not.
che kar de kin ba ne yo
The person who steals in his mind
ta na kwale no
breaks the law.
lo nge do
We all know that principle.
ko ni che kana ba
Not just the act, it's the thought.
kana che ki cha lo ki cha ta.
So, who's the person that never would steal?
Yen
What mind would never steal?
yen no mi le chi lo kwat.
God's mind, isn't it?
No mo ne le che ka che ba.
We'd have this mind of being selfless.
Wo nang ne le jan nang nom kin nom che le ko krat.
We'll go away from lying or stealing to selfish and selfless.
So wo bu ja ne kweli bu ja ne rat de ngak bu ya ko kra na be.
Is it bad to be selfish?
Re je chan ba ra na won ko krat.
Yes or no?
Re ba ko krat.
Of course it's bad.
Ra chan ba ra na ko krat.
How selfish is God?
Je ne ale ko krat de.
Here's God,
Ne ale
100% not selfish.
ne ale me kin ko krat ka ne.
How selfish are you?
Yeran ko krat de.
Like God, 100%?
Me ine ko krat.
Are we sure? You don't think you're going to go to heaven and God's going to say, that was selfish of you?
Bala pa ne
And you're going to say,
le
oh,
ko krat de.
I didn't even know that was selfishness.
Cái bây giờ là lưỡi ka koi nan ya ko krat.
In my country,
Pande
Men always go to the front of the queue before women. I thought that was normal.
Rồi đây là topic. Our doing the dia chứ người về.
Are we sure that we're not selfish? That we think about ourselves?
Yo tiếng cái dịch này wo chi cục nè rồi. Wo chi tak rồi nè rồi đấy.
Today.
Yo call.
Of course we're selfish.
Yo call wo coi cục rồi.
Is Jacob selfish here?
Yo cục cái tên nó call ra nó cục rồi.
He's sealed. Is he selfish?
Yo cục rồi.
Of course he is.
The
The Bible says, yea, though he slay me, yet will I trust him. The Bible says, I would trust God even if he killed me.
So I will cái Bible lấy cái luyện nan là cho cái nó.
What's Jacob saying? God's not helping me, I better help myself. Pure selfishness. When he realizes it's God, he says, oh, it's good now, it's all good, it's all fine. He's worried about his flesh. And I will remind you, where are we? Where are we? We're at the same place, my brother said. We're more worried about our flesh. In a year's time, we'll say, no, it's all good. We're nice people now. Put your hands up if you're sealed. If you're sealed. Nobody. Put your hands up if you're Jacob. Jacob is here. Is he sealed? Yes? So that means you must be sealed. Who feels sealed? Are we not supposed to work on feelings, are we? Now, I know we're in a fractal line. But all of us should have put our hands up. If you're a priest, you should know that you've already sealed. You should know that. But I think we don't feel it. So we base it upon feelings. Even the men. And we're not actually believing or following our own line. What I want us to see is when Jacob's here. What's his name? Jacob? No, not Jacob. What's his name? His name is Elijah. And what's Elijah just done? What waymark is that here? After the close of probation. What's the waymark that comes after that? Increase of knowledge, for sure. What waymark does Ellen White call that? And what's Elijah going to do? Sorry? Because he's scared? Does he have love?
Yes.
No, he can't have love because perfect love casts out fear. Does he have duty to do? Does he have duty? Does he fail in his duty?
Chính lương trao còn với cái nơi bị nát cái bên.
What does he want to do here after that?
Mà chỉ biết lời cái bữa cả.
Says, kill me.
Chỉ biết lời nát cái.
I should never have been born.
Chỉ biết lời nghe lời cái cái gì đi nát cái.
How selfish is that?
Iran có ra đây cái.
For someone to say, I know better than God, and I know if I should have been born or not born.
Anh nông nhị cho vợ nghe lời. Với cái gì đi.
Complete selfishness.
Cái này nhột nani lấy ra. Cái có ra đây.
And he's sealed.
Okay, chứ mệt.
Story after story teaches you if you're willing to see. We're not talking about deliberate, malicious sin. When inspiration, Bible Spirit prophecy, talks about the eradicating all sin or everything that's bad.
Na jam Bible ka chika gor spirit of prophecy lelke en nyai de rech.
It doesn't get all eradicated that simply.
Ke nyai de rech chira de lo ke ko chi.
It's at a very simplistic level that these things are happening.
So I would think che ya ke tin ko chi ne ka ka lo.
I don't care about the future.
En che dia ne ku ben.
I don't care if you understand all of this for the future.
I
don't care who's right or wrong about whether they're sin in heaven or not sin in heaven.
So
I don't care. What I care about is what's happening today. And what I do know is your vision, your model of the future affects your model of the present. And if you've got a wrong perspective of the future, you're going to fail the current test. And when you go to the past, if you haven't got that straight, you're failing in the present too. This is the point that I want to get across to us. It's not about when you get to heaven you have to lock your door so no one takes your computer. We don't care about that kind of stuff. What we care about is how we treat people. That is the test that's confronting this world. It was the test that was in heaven. It's the test that we are going to be faced with. Everything that we speak about, racism, sexism, is all about how you treat people. Our perspective of the papacy and its work, of someone like AOC or Bernie Sanders, the way we relate to these people, these institutions, is affected by the way we think. If we don't think straight, we make wrong conclusions. If you make wrong conclusions, you won't think straight. Today, all I wanted to show was our selfishness, no, we'll do it. God is 100% selfless. And we go like this. I'm going to do it as a parabolic curve. Not even parabolic, it's exponential really. It will never touch that line. If it touched that line, what would you become? You become God, wouldn't you? We will never become selfless. It's impossible. All that God is going to do, He's going to check you at certain stages. We teach, Adventists we, where do you have to be in your experience to get to heaven? In this line, where would you have to be to get to heaven? 1, 2, or 3 if you want to get to heaven. Where do you have to be in your selflessness? 3, isn't it? You have to be right here. I don't believe that. I think this is the second advent. We're just starting to understand what it means not to be selfish. We have thousands of years of growth in heaven. I don't know how much we'll grow for the first 1,000 years. When you get to the lake. But even then, you will not be selfless like God. Our perspective of what's right and wrong needs to be reconsidered, needs to be adjusted. We're not as good as we think. We're not as righteous as we think. And the righteousness that God expects of us here is nothing in comparison to His righteousness, His character. We're just weak reflections of who He is. So I want us to see that we're not asking for some high standard. I'm not asking you to be superhuman. This is basic behavior. Elder Tess taught yesterday. Treating people who are different, treating women with respect is in the spirit of prophecy. It's 200 years old. It's not new. Has everybody read Adventist Home? No one's read it? So, in that book, it says, if a man wants to marry, he should learn how to wash his clothes and cook his food. Or the woman should not marry him. It says, if you're a woman, look how that man treats his mother. And if he treats his mother like a slave,
Nai mani luai chimana luat.
that's how he'll treat you, and don't marry him.
Nekete beni luai tin. Leni tiak tuneran kene tuane tiak.
It says similar things for a woman to do.
Kene nekete kor bi nya kor beloy.
So when we today say the same thing,
Nalu ku kene ne khol.
men should wash their clothes, men should cook their food.
Nalu ku chinde ta nalu ku kala kene.
People say this is revolutionary,
Nalu ka chinde kene.
against the culture. This is 200-year-old truth. What's new is that we say women can be leaders in God's church. And because all the men are selfless and all the women are selfless, here, without sin, is that what the case is? We don't need to have headship in a marriage. Because headship, where the man is here and the woman is here, is to stop fighting. When the husband and wife argue, the head wins. Simple. But if you're both perfect, without sin, new heart, the law, Christ is in there, you're not going to fight, are you? Therefore you don't need headship. Doesn't need to be a boss. So all we're teaching is that if we really believe these truths, first of all, most of it's old. Most of it is 200 years old. And what's new is that women can be leaders in the church. They can be elders, they can baptize. They have the same ecclesiastical authority. And in marriage, because both of them are born again, should be no headship. That's the only bit that's new. Everything else is old. If you've read the books, why are you not putting them into practice? For me, that sounds like malicious, deliberate sin.
So
had some questions. One of them is this. It says, we understand that there are a few dispensations in every line. And this person has drawn out a reform line. And it says, is there another structure that will leave the movement in this harvest time? Give some examples here. 89 to 911.
runda 1989 guti runa lipen gutok
It says a message was rejected by the SDA structure.
nani ke fuge e chia kunum yen ngor ke le len e chi jai
9/11 to 2014, a message was rejected by part of the Just structure.
runa lipen gutir gutok guti runa lipen gutir gumwan ke kunum the pass of the just e chi fuge e chi jai
2014 to 2019, a message was rejected by the Future for America structure.
runa lipen gutir gumwan guti runa lipen gutir gumwan ka kunum the future for America chi fuge kene chi ba wane
So the question is,
falke
from 2019 to 2021,
wala runa lipen gutir gumwan guti runa lipen gutro gutok
is there going to be another structure that leaves?
benang aku nom kebajal
So we'll go to last day events.
wobula nebung segor ana kabur loy na kalchen nyan ka da len gor
We're going to cut into the passage. It says, the church may appear as about to fall, but it does not fall, it remains, while the sinners in Zion will be sifted out, the chaff separated from the precious wheat. It's a terrible ordeal, but nevertheless it must take place.
alel kanisa bia to chikubu yi ukachi bukan yi bia coach ukoi raj ni Zion abike nyai chitman inayel ine nyai na rapid kene ekidi loy ne ali dega ko chikor bu jan woni bradi loy
All good? Sorry. So, hopefully everybody understands the question. There's a reform line that this person does. It's the reform line of the 144,000. 1989. Oh, sorry, no, it's the line of the priests. So in the line of the priests,
the priest bind up
9/11, 14, and 19. It says in this history, the SDA structure was rejected. In this one, path of the just, FFA, and it says in this one will there be something. Don't know whose question this is. I hope the question makes sense. So the reason I chose this question because I find it interesting. So I want to say that the perspective of this person and my perspective is different. So I don't agree with the premise of the question. I don't agree with it on a number of levels. First of all, the person has mixed three different structures on one line. This is a line of progression. And I don't think you can line it up this way. Point one. Second point, the person is assuming that this Pastor Just and FFA are actually a structure.
So,
And I'm suggesting that they're not a structure. So I give you the reference that we're looking at. Did I say last day events?
Last day event,
Page 180, paragraph 4. The church may appear to fall, but it does not fall. It remains while the sinners in Zion will be sifted out. So in all of this story, let's try and think about it. Whose question was it, by the way?
He asked that question last time.
Yeah, a couple of days ago. So, there's a mountain, and in the mountain, I'm going to say there are stones. We're okay with that? Where's this model taken from? A mountain. You've got stone in it. You're in Daniel 2. If you're not happy with that, we've got a mountain with a stone. Is that better? People happy in that? Yeah? Okay, so because you weren't happy with my first model, I'll give you another one. When you're teaching people, and either they don't understand or they don't like your model, if it's possible, change your model. If you're able to do that. So I'm going to take a quick second, see if I can find something. If I can't, then I'll just give you the answer. Go to Joshua chapter 12. No, sorry, the book of Joshua, not Joshua.
Chapter 13. Joshua 13.
Chapter 4.
Joshua 1.
Joshua chapter 4.
Joshua.
What's the subject? Crossing the Jordan. And they're going to pick up stones. Rule number 1. My brother said, when I said, what's the subject? He said, stones. Because he's following rule number 1.
So
Connected Daniel 2 stone with Joshua 4 stone. Are we okay with that? It's about the crossing of the river Jordan, but he said it's stone. What are they going to do? 12 men.
Coi các theo pro.
Symbol of
Yung nhớ đến
the church.
kanisa.
We're carrying symbol of the church.
Yung kuting na theo pro nhớ.
One man from each tribe. It's church.
Đàn thuộc nó quan đến chứ.
What's this?
Cái này kan. Cái này kan.
The church.
Kanisa.
So, same subject.
Chế thông cái.
They all get a stone
Aci kurang ben aci kalau.
from the river
Cái kalau ngari.
and they do what?
Kalau kung.
When they get to the other side,
Oleh cái biang dan kiri Jordan.
what do they do with the stones?
Yung aci ko beloy ni kurang.
Verse 3. What do they do with the stones?
Yung aci ko beloy ni kurang. Aci kalau ka koi ke Israel.
Help you?
Bawa koi.
They turn the stones into a
Yung kurang beloy ke kang.
into a mountain, don't they?
Aci kurang ka aci kejan be. Kita bi yung.
He says, make a memorial. He didn't say get the stones and just throw them.
Aki lel lel. Kene na lel ke kita buku jalan ke where with pat.
What are they supposed to do?
Yung suppose si na lel ke beloy.
Make a pyre, aren't they?
Jangan bikin gini.
We agree with that.
Yo keting ke cháu kun beloy je.
So, Daniel 2 is the mountain. Joshua 4 is the mountain.
Daniel ro kur. Jela je so wana jam. So kure.
12 stones is the mountain.
Berkat tiar ro. Ai ku di da je bet.
What would happen
Kemudian lo.
if you got this pile of stones and you started shaking it? What would happen?
Yung kemudian lo te lo minu kur ke. Ama ba kur ba ka dom ku bal ke ye yung kemudian lo.
They will scatter. One of the stones would be thrown out. What gets happened in Daniel 2? One of the stones gets thrown out. There's a shaking that's going on in the mountain. What's this mountain? What church? Israel's the 12 tribes. What causes a shaking in God's church? The testimony of the true witness, or as my brother said, the message to Laodicea. Message to Laodicea. We'll say it another way. The everlasting gospel. The everlasting gospel comes to the church, shakes it, and what falls out?
So,
the stone falls out, doesn't it? Just like this one. So, the church, SDA, appears to collapse, but it doesn't. It remains. Okay, it's all remained. Just one of them has come out. It remains while the sinners in Zion will be sifted out. What's this? These are sinners, aren't they? According to what we just read. The sinners get cut out. Did we just read that? Did we just read that?
Cho nên cái chú quên.
The church may appear to collapse, but it does not.
Kanisa bia to chiki bi kina che yu.
Remains intact while the sinners leave.
Cái bia cái coi ra ai giờ.
Says sifted out.
Ai cái nhai.
It's terrible, it must happen. Daniel 2. This stone that comes out, what is it? The sinners? So, when this person took this model, I don't think they're approaching it correctly. The thing that gets kicked out are the saints, not the sinners. Now, I understand that a message is going to go to the Seventh-day Adventist Church, and it's going to reject it. But that rejection means the ejection of saints, not the ejection of sinners.
So,
the SDA Church, they didn't reject any message from 1989 to 9/11. Because the message hadn't completed its work. They're going to reject the message from 1989 to the Sunday law. That's what this message teaches, Daniel 2. From the time of the end to, we'll put Sunday law. In parentheses, close the probation. I'll call that National Sunday law. This happens to the church. It shakes it, and then out pops the saints. So I don't think we can do it like this. And then it asks, Pastor adjust this structure. Future for America, this structure. The passage says, it remains while the sinners in Zion will be sifted out. It's the sinners that come out, not the saints. These are not structures. What are these? These are sinners in the history of Zion. They're not a structure. They're just individual people, sinners, who get sifted out by the everlasting gospel message. But we shouldn't combine these two together. It's a different story. And SDA is going to receive the gospel for this history. It's a lot longer. Hopefully that's clear. The question is there another structure that will leave the movement? The SDA Church never left the movement. That's certainly a structure. The movement left the structure.
Ini kecil kanisa, ini kecil wa.
The structure didn't leave the church, leave the stone.
Saya kuting ache pur di je, ache jebel ini babai di pur ini.
Pastor Adjust and Future for America, they're not structures.
Part of the just de la Future for America, ache apa ni?
They're sinners
Ai koira ngak narade.
that are in Zion, which will be taken out.
Ai koira ni kanisa dan ni si way will ke kawan way kawan.
Because they reject the message.
Kecil ke will ke nal ke kare.
And then we could go in and see
Wala buku dai ke tingko ya.
why they reject.
Yang ai ke ja.
Now, when this person says reject,
Leleran kini je.
I'm not sure what they define reject as.
Chai dede yung ne ko pa ke le ni je.
What's the opposite of reject?
Yung ye ko woi
Accept.
kene je ba ke jai ke baga.
Easy.
Je
When do the Levites accept the message?
je li bai dia ke pie je ke gamna.
When did the Levites accept the message?
Li bai dia ke pie kene ke gamna.
They accept the message at the Sunday law? Panium to Sunday law.
Ba pie kene ke gam na ko le penium je la.
The Levites. Harvest. This is where they accept the message. Accept. Opposite to reject. When did they join the movement? When did they join the movement? Same time period? So, did they join here? Agree with that? Accept here? Is that what people are saying? Did they accept in the latter rain? Former rain? The ploughing? Did they accept the message then? So, accept and join, do they mean the same thing? We'll do it this way. They accepted 3 times before they have this final acceptance. You're okay with that? And we're going to use accept to mean join. What is reject equal? Accept means to join, reject means leave. So let's bring it here. When the pastor just leave, pastor just leave here, and we know FFA leave here. So they're rejecting it at the same time, not separately. If you say that join is accept, therefore reject is leave.
So
there is not going to be any new structure that leaves. There never was one that left in the past.
So I change the structure.
But I can assure you, the people will leave in this history, like you and I. Some of us will leave because you're sinners. Not sinners today. When do you become a sinner? Before you answer that question,
ngồi kinh cái nó soal cái nó về
What type of sinners are there?
giờ cái coi ra dính đi
How many kinds of sinners can you get?
giờ coi ra cái đi cái gì
How many kinds?
coi ra work cái này cái đó
Two kinds of sinners.
cũng đi cái đâu coi ra đôi à tập
Yesterday, no, the day before yesterday,
khối là
we spoke about verbs.
vô chỉ dầm cái cho will dầm lôi cái càng lôi
We looked at two words. What were they?
vô chỉ dầm nó will cái rồi cái will
Deuteronomy 22 verse 5.
cũng đến Deuteronomy trâu chấm bị
Put on
và cái đầm thao
and where? Put on is a what?
và cái đầm thao yêu một
Verb. Where is a
cái nhuộm này cái nào bà lôi
verb. They're both
cái
verbs.
đầm phiêu đây đó
Where means what?
và cái đầm phiêu đây kan
What did it mean? Become.
và cái đây cái đầm
It's a state of being verb. It's a being verb, and the other one is an action verb.
cái này nhuộm này cái này cái thao vậy cái này nhuộm này cái đây nhuộm này chỉ là lôi
Are we okay with that?
được có tiếng cái
What kind of saints can you get? What kind of sinners can you get?
giờ coi ra gì ní cái yêu có tiếng cái
Two.
ai rồi
What are the two?
cái coi cái rồi đấy
What's the first type of sinner?
giờ là yêu group bên nó group coi ra
Is a sinner a job or a title?
ra rồi
Depends.
ye lối cái nồng được ba người nó kia lối này cho này
Can you be a sinner by title?
ye ra rồi
Why?
cái chức năng mình đi là cho
What's your title?
nhiều người cho lý cho
Child
thì mệt
of
thì mà là
child of God.
cái cho đấy cho là ngà đấy
That's your being.
cái này cái tan được
Can you do some sin and be a child of God?
là bà ray là bà lôi
We'll say yes.
cho đi mà
Yeah,
đấy
you can choose to do it.
ý là bà ray lôi để cái cho mà
If you choose to do sin while you're a child of God, are you still a child of God? What are you?
là lôi ray kia mà ngà đấy cái chỉ để cái mà ngà
My brother said, if you do sin and you're a child of God, you're no longer a child of God. Do we all believe that? Some do, some don't. If you're married
là chất thiệt
and you commit adultery,
của cò đó
are you still married?
để chi chất thiệt
Yes.
chất thiệt kìa
If you're a child of God
phải mà ngà đấy
and you sin,
lôi ray
you're still a child of God.
để cái mà ngà đấy
So we're not sure. Let's not call it child of God. Call it a citizen of heaven.
ok lười cú ra cái này cái ra cái chân nó pha nè
Where do you live? Which country?
thì pha nó chân như thế
Citizen of? Which country do you live in?
thì pha nó chân như thế
Heaven.
chúng ta pha nè
Can you steal there? No.
chỉ là bao quát
So, in heaven,
pha nè
can Lucifer steal?
lưu sức phải chứ phải
He can't steal? Of course he can steal. Of course he can. He stole the hearts of those angels.
phải chứ phải chứ biang cho mà lái cái chứ phải
If you don't like stealing, just call it rebellion. Can you rebel in heaven? Of course you can rebel.
được bao gạt pha nè được bao gạt
So you can be a child of God and sin. Perfectly acceptable.
để cái lối đây
You agree with that?
thì thiên cái
You okay with that then?
nếu cố gắng
If you're married, can you commit adultery?
là chất thiệt cái chỉ là bao cỡ
Doesn't destroy your marriage, does it? You're still married.
vậy đấy tiêm người riêng cái chín con
Is that easy?
coi chứ cái
You live in a nice country
chúng ta bán tiền
and you behave badly.
giờ ta ngao coi lối
You still live there. Easy.
coi chứ
You've got a passport for South Sudan, Sudanese passport,
passport của Sudan
but you're a spy.
ที่นี้นี่ราในการ
a Russian spy,
นี่ราในวันนี้เป็นเจ้าการคอร์ก็คือ security
and you work against your government, and you work against your government,
วิลลุยที่วัยไม่น่าคุ้มมัน
are you still Sudanese?
เยราในยุโรป
Not complicated?
เด็กเยราในยุโรป
Okay, good. So, two types of sinners. Action
เอาคนนึงก็เราก็อะไรเลย
and state of being.
คนนึงก็เราก็อะไรเลยนึงก็อะไรเลยก็คิดคนนึงก็โตก็นึงก็จอลก็อะไรในไทยตัว
We're not sinners in the sense of a title or the noun.
so ว่าว่าจะก็อะไรในช่วงในช่วงนี้นะว่าช่วยก็อะไรในเรื่อง
We're sinners by behavior.
ว่าก็อะไรในช่วงในปีเดียวปี
So, we're all saints. You okay with that?
ว่าก็อะไรจะก็เป็นเจ้
Not sinners.
ว่าจะก็อะไรเจ้
That's our being.
แค่นี้นี่ก็ช่วงด่าแค่ทันด่า
We're all okay with that? Here, can we do some sin? Can we practice some sin? Sure you can. You can practice some sin here and in the next one as well. You can practice sin for the next 3 dispensations. Because it's an action, not a state of being. So when she says the sinners are sifted out, what kind of sinners is that? Action or state of being? It's the state of being sinners that are rejected. We know that because as the storm approaches, a large class who had professed faith in the third angel's message, which means they said they believe it, action or state of being? State of being. Those who are in the state of being of the third angel but had not been sanctified through obedience. What's obedience? Being or action? Action. What's going to happen to them? They abandon their position and go into the world. In our history, where do they go? Where do they go? Someone said? Not to the world. To go back to the church. Laodicean. So to answer the question then, you can't do this structure. The SDA church is here. They received the everlasting gospel. The saints are rejected. Pastor Just and Future for America are not structures. They're people.
Part of the Just Future for America,
Sinners. Can saints in this history leave? Yes, they can. They choose to sin. So there is no structure that will leave the movement. But there will be plenty of sinners that do that. And that's more scary. Because there are no structures in this room. But there's lots of individuals people.
Kina neng ngat ngerade ngoi.
Hope that answered that question.
Ayo soal kena cerat ber.
Hopefully I gave a bit of extra information.
Upaneng kajui cukalwel fit.
Let's pray.
Thank you.
Our Father in heaven, as we bow before you, we ask that you would be with us and protect us. Lord, as we think about the study that we have listened to, that we have had presented to us, help us to realize our failings and our weaknesses. We know that you want to help us, Father, but we also know that we keep on not listening to you. We keep on wanting to do our own will. May we take this moment of reflection to make a commitment that we will change. Help us, Lord, to review these studies that we've spoken of. The studies of man, the subject of the will. And now, Father, give us strength and energy to open up into a new subject. The subject of the body. So that we might be prepared to take this message to the Levites and to the Gentiles. Help us, Lord, to consecrate our lives to you and not resist and fight, is our prayer in Jesus' name.